Yes, people, welcome to the Man United Agenda. I'm really happy today. Really happy. We just beat Forest 2-0. It's been a great weekend, man. For Spurs lost, Newcastle lost, and we are now in third place. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Yo, welcome to the Man United Agenda. Big up Miko as well. You're the first man in the house. We're back. We're back. What a win. What a win. We had such a tough week, guys. I'm just going to talk about this intro, man, because on my own at the moment. We do have guests coming in. I mean, when you look back, this season has been like highs and lows, some serious lows. We lost 7-0. Yes, it's just me at the moment, but you're welcome to come on Bath Time. If you want a piece of this, come on Bath Time. I will send you the link if you're on it. Just let me know now. Yeah. I mean, look, we lost 7-0, we lost 6-3, we lost 4-0. We've had all these bad defeats, but also we've had a great home record. And we've seen the football and we've seen the development, slapping people at the club like Ronaldo to get it done, you know? Yes, I'm going to send a link. I don't know if I can multitask. I'm going to do my best. I've got it on WhatsApp. I'm going to try and send it to you, whatever way I can. Anyway, I'm going to get the message to get it sent to you, bro. Yeah, what a season, guys. What a season. We completely cooked Forest, says HD Gamer. Let's talk about it, guys. Settle down. Let's have a good old chat about this. Vincent, how you doing? It's been a good week for the Man United supporter. The women made the final FA Cup. Well done today. And they faced Chelsea, and it's been a great week for the men. Let's go, says Colum. Let's go. Yeah, send the link. All right, guys, you just give me a minute. I'm going to keep talking. But in the meantime, I'm going to send a link, which I'm going to have to... I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try and send it to Bath Time while you're there. But I'm going to continue talking. I want Bath Time to talk about this game with me because I'm really delighted, guys. Yeah, it's been a tough week. I'm just going to... Oh, no, I can't. Oh, actually, I can. Yeah, it's been a tough week, man, for us. Let me just link that copy. Let's go to my Twitter. No, that's Telegram. Let's go to Twitter and send this message to the one and only Bath Time Yvonne. I love you, bro. Let's get you on here. Yeah, it's been a wonderful week. When you look at it, with all those injuries that happened with again in the Sevilla game, we were 2-0 up, and we were cruising, and then people blaming the manager, said we made stupid subs or whatever. I don't see it like that. I just think we were really unfortunate. They came back, and then of course, man got injured, didn't he? Varane and Martinez is out for the rest of the season. Yes, I am on Telegram, so. That was doom and gloom. Then it's like people start, wait a minute, top four looks doom and gloom right now. We got no defenders, and we got Harry Maguire to come back in, and it's going to be Lindelof, Harry Maguire, and we're going to be shaky to the end of the season. We got Europa League, we got FA Cup semi-final. It's going to be tough. But what happened? I mean, with Spurs and Newcastle losing, that was the start of it, you know. But to finish it up, cherry on top was to come to Forest, who were in a relegation fight, and get the result. Get the result, guys. It's exactly what we needed, you know. Big up Kahinde. Kahinde, man, how you doing?
Yeah, good, bro.
High five, man. It's good, isn't it? I'm just saying, bro. Yeah. I'm just saying, this at the start of the week with the injuries and everything we had, and then to turn it around and Spurs losing, Newcastle losing, and then suddenly we've got players injured as well with the defences out. I mean, it's like Woodland's going with Richie and someone else in centre back. No. That's what people are saying. They say, "Oh God, disaster! Maguire's having to play." But I mean, we've got a clean sheet today. What are your thoughts about it when the injuries went down? Were you concerned?
Not really, because I heard Forest had a lot of players out injured as well, and they're near the bottom of the table. So I was thinking at worst we'll get a draw.
That's but you say, but hold on. Concerned about not just Forest, because we've got enough games to go. Forest, the top four, the Europa League, the FA Cup. I mean, going to the rest of the season without these guys at the back, were you concerned?
I was more concerned about next week. I wasn't concerned about today's game at all. But next week is such a big week. Like, we know, we've got to beat Sevilla at their ground, and we've got to win that FA Cup to get to the final. That's a huge week. Yeah. But and obviously we've got Maguire suspended for that other game as well. But as of today, wasn't concerned at all. And I was really happy. Like, I looked at the lineup, I was like, yeah, that's probably the lineup I choose if considering all the injuries.
Yeah.
And then the thing that happened with Sabitzer when he got injured in the warm-up.
God, yeah. Let's talk that. Before you do, hold on. Before you go in, bath time. I'm adding you, but it's not coming on again. You're gonna have to do something like you did last time to get yourself on, if you don't mind. I'm pressing ads, but you're not coming on for some reason. I don't know if you changes something. I don't know what it is. Change something and get yourself on like last time. Same issue as last time, bath time. Anyway, yeah, Sabitzer. I mean, starting the game with the team selection. Sabitzer going out. What were you? Oh, come on, man. More worries, more injury. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, I was just thinking, that's unfortunate. But then obviously I realized that Eriksen was warming up and I was like, yes, this is a perfect game to bed himself back in slowly. He had a bit of a taster last week. And I think if he's got to start next week against Sevilla after that performance, because he just opens up teams with passing.
Don't jump the gun. Listen. Wait. Just calm down a bit. We're going to talk about the team selection, not the performance. We're going to go on to the performance afterwards, and then we're going to do the player ratings, and then we can do any other business. So doing the team selection, for example. Let's talk. Here we go. We've got everyone's jumping on board now. We've got two great additions. We've got bath time with Vaughan. How you doing? Sound check.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear. Big up, sound check. One. Nice to see you, bath time, or not to see you, but I see your lovely livery. Oh yes, you've got your logo on. Just talking about the injuries, bro. Because we just talked to Kinde about this, the injuries before on the Sevilla game. Were you concerned about top four? And then suddenly Newcastle and Spurs lose, and it's like, wow, we get a bit of breathing space. And then the performance today. I mean, we're going to talk about performance, but yeah, just talk about the injuries and how much real damage it's going to be.
Yeah, I was really concerned about the injuries with everyone else. Like, we lost our two centre backs. We've had issues with Sabitzer, with Eriksen, and for me, most importantly, with Shaw. I think that I've been concerned about top four for quite some time because the team's been playing poorly since the final with Newcastle, in my view. But we've just had a really good bit of fortune this weekend with results going our way. And we played, I think, pretty well today, to be honest. Like, I think we're going to be all right.
Whew. Cool and calm. Well delivered. Big up, Andy Tate. How you doing, bro? Can you hear me? Sound check. Struggling for a sound check from Andy. Hopefully we get to hear from you, Andy. Let's sort out your Wi-Fi. Anyways, so we're talking about the team selection today. He went with De Gea in goal. No issue with that. But the fullback situation, Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. Talk to me, Kinde. Let's go through it. Where's Malacia? Was that because of the own goal? Was it poor performance against Sevilla? What was going on there? Because I was a bit surprised by that. Dalot's come in and played at left back.
I was surprised because he didn't look like he was struggling. Malacia didn't look like he was struggling at the end of the last game, and I know he made that error towards the end. So I was thinking, wow, has he dropped? But I thought, well, if he's dropped, he'd surely be on the subs bench at least. But he must have an injury, otherwise he would have been on the subs bench because for the balance of the team, when was the last time Dalot played left back? I know he can fit in there, but you just wouldn't do that. There's been players that's had poor games before and they've still played, like McTominay or whoever. So I was thinking, it can't be because of that. He must have an injury. So, I was a bit surprised. And then I'm seeing Dalot left back. I was like, yeah, he did that with AC Milan a couple of years ago. He was playing left back. He should be able to fit in. And, so Wan-Bissaka picks himself because he was the only right back available.
Bath time, you want to add to that? I mean, you're the manager, you're seeing Malacia is not around. That's the right choice, right? Put Dalot at left back?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he played AC Milan as a left back for like a season or whatever it was. He's a decent player. You know what you're getting from him. He's physical. Notts Forest are essentially a championship team, so I wouldn't have any issues sticking Dalot in against them boys. So I was fine with the selection, to be honest, and I was really pleased in some ways to see Eriksen and Antony Martial get over an hour. That bodes extremely well for us.
Considering you were concerned about the top four of hopes. Andy, are you with us? Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah.
Andy, you there? Yeah. Oh, brilliant. All right. Okay, well, I can hear you. That's the most important thing. Andy, the team selection now. We've got obviously injuries at centre back. What do you think about the centre back? Obviously, there wasn't much option, was there? It had to be Maguire and Lindelof. But the fullback situation, and obviously Sabitzer before we kicked off, he got injured. How are you feeling about that, bro?
Surprised at that.
We got sound.
The back four and it's like limit, but
We got some sound issues. Sorry, Andy. Yeah, you're not coming through too well, Andy. Do you want to sign out and come back in again? See if you can get this Wi-Fi connected. Yeah, let's go. All right, so midfield. Obviously, Sabitzer's dropped out. Do you think Bath time that Sabitzer, if he would have started, he would have started ahead of Bruno again? That seems to be the way they've been going recently. But when Eriksen came in, it seemed like Eriksen was dropping into midfield in his usual double pivot kind of role, and it was Bruno playing as a sort of number 10.
Yeah, 100%. I think that the original plan would have been to have Casemiro and Bruno together. Like, you need legs around Casemiro. He's got great qualities, but the man's a pudding, and anything can run past him. Like, it's incredible. It's like watching a glacier at times. But yeah, I think that, and this is why, like, I have my own personal issues with Bruno. I'm sure, he's not a love him or hate him kind of character. It's just there's things he does that drives you up the wall. But he's just fantastic, and we're so lucky to have a player of that quality that is able to play in multiple positions around the pitch. And we've got two of them back now with Eriksen, who I thought that the pair of them had an absolutely sensational game together.
Yeah.
Casemiro, I know he didn't do a lot in the game except for fall over. But he I thought he played his position quite well, much more so in the second half. He's just got to control himself. You can't. He acts like a dog on a bouncy castle. He's just sliding about everywhere. But yeah, I was. That's one of the better midfield performances that we've seen, where we looked after the ball, we broke lines, we're incisive, and Eriksen, whilst he's not incredibly mobile, he gives you intelligent work rate. Like, there was only one moment in the game when I saw him and Casemiro having to put their heads down and run backwards.
Yeah.
And it was interesting how high our line. That's the highest I've seen our line for quite some time with that midfield. I wonder if that changed because of Sabitzer not being there.
Who knows? I'm not sure. I didn't consider that. But just start with that. In the first minute, talk about high line. Maguire went with his man deep in his half and gave a proper foul, an Italian foul, I call it, what Chiellini did to Saka in the Euros. And it was an intelligent foul. But early in the game, people, here we go. And you should have seen my WhatsApp, because they know I love Maguire. Everyone was saying, look at Maguire, look at him. He's a terrible player. That was poor. He's going to get sent off now. Look at him, clumsy guy. But I thought that was a brilliant foul to make early on in the game. Just put your hands around him. Stop him from going anywhere. You don't want to get caught out. Get your confidence. You settle into the game as a centre-back. You decide how you're going to get into the game. Don't get twisted up early in the game. So well done, Harry Maguire, coming deep in a high line and taking your man out early. Any thoughts on that, Andy? I'll throw that to you.
First few minutes.
Such a shame, isn't it? We're not hearing you, Andy. Staggered.
He got caught.
We're really struggling with Andy out here, aren't we? Kinde, do you want to take this over there? What you're a defender.
When he did that challenge, I'm thinking about Woodlands a lot, about you saying about pinching. And I say I don't always like it, because if you haven't got the pace, the man could just turn you if you're too tight to him.
Yeah.
And this is what happened with Maguire. We're playing a high line, and it's not good with two centre-backs who don't have pace, Lindelof and Maguire. That's their weakness. So I thought Maguire should have just went back a yard a bit, just had his hands, just went back a yard, giving himself a yard of pace, but he went too tight to him. But it's a good tactical foul. He got away with it. Could have been a lot worse. He had a shaky first 10, 15 minutes, but then, like always, he grows into the game and just his quality just shone after that.
Listen, let me just go through some comments because people are talking now, and you have to give them credit, man, because everyone's excited. In the final against City, we're talking FA Cup. Obviously, if we beat Brighton, HG Game is saying if Rashford was fit, we'd have won 3 or 4-0 today. Bart is saying here, well done, lads. Sterner test and weight. Most certainly, we have to appreciate that. Malassy's got a bad knee injury. Oh dear, they're dropping like flies right now. Andy Tate, I don't know what. I can't work this out. I can't work that out, Vincent. Sorry. The Sevilla away game and Brighton game are going to be incredible tests. We had a test today. I thought it was a test. Dalot also cooked at left back. Thank you, HD Gamer. Big up to Zoe Media House. Go check out her channel. Dalot played at left back under Ollie as well in pre-season match. Mr. Data, HD Gamer, thank you. Jim, how you doing, man? In the pub, so I can't watch, but I will join. But I have a like, and big up to the Reds. Yeah, big win. Big up to Jim. I miss Ericsson and Casemiro. Ericsson especially. Finally, I think we are seeing the Ericsson from Spurs. I think he's been there all along. Mr. B, thank you for a wonderful watch along. Go and check that out, guys. Hello, OMONDI, Uncle Phil, Andy, and Time Reform. That's John Bill Baggio. Yes, Uncle Phil. Xabi Alonso would make a great coach for Man United one day. I don't know where that's coming from, but yeah, he probably would. He's a great player. Ericsson, Casemiro, Fred, McTominay, Bruno would have to be the best midfield five in the Prem. I don't know what they're saying here. Pelestri, little talk about Pelestri. This is Lindroth. Oh, here we go. Lindroth, who never gets praised, was awesome. I will back you on that. I thought he's great today. Maguire got better as the game went on, but had a terrible first 15 minutes. It's okay. It's okay. I still can't believe Maguire actually moved away from the player and the ball while in his own box. That's really bad. Here we go with the Maguire barrage. It was stupid, OMONDI, but Maguire to get yellow so early. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Performance-wise, we scored a goal. I mean, the game was like, I don't think Nottingham Forest had much quality. So we were kind of playing some ball out there. And we scored a nice early goal. 31 minutes gone. Bruno into Martial first time. And yeah, left foot with a left foot, and Andy followed up after the shot. I'm not really describing the goal the best way I can, but half time, what do you think of the first goal? Do you remember it much?
Not as much as I should, but yeah, I thought. I mean, it's the sort of goal we don't score very often, where it's a scrappy goal, where it's a man getting ahead of his man at the back post. I think.
Yeah,
I might have got this wrong, but I think Martial made a couple of tackles before it, and then Bruno slipped him in with the first-time ball. It was everything you want from like a good Premier League side. You want that fight up front. You want players competing for the ball, like Martial. He's come back from, it feels about 7 years being injured, like your man in Tibet, Brad Pitt or whatever that film was, and then he's crashing about. Gets the ball. Bruno plays a beautiful first touch inside ball. Navas's save was really good, by the way. I think that beats most keepers. And then you got Antony, that shithouse at the end, just like get all elbows and studs just coming in and getting it over the line. He must be an absolute nightmare to play. I saw a lot of, like, someone came to him at one point and he already had his elbow out ready to sort of bump them around. Such a dirty git, but I quite like Antony.
That's his first goal since October. And Kinde, I mean, what do you think about that bit coming up, finishing someone else's work? That's what you're supposed to do. As Bathtime was saying there, getting in and driving forward to get goals from the wide areas. We don't get enough goals from wide men, and if you do follow up shots like that, you're likely to finish some dinner, aren't you?
Exactly. I think that's it kind of happened earlier where he could have got on the end of something, the anticipation, but he didn't anticipate it. But then that time he did. So yeah, Antony, he's got a terrific work rate. Like, he really does help back defending as well. He's got a lot of heart. He might be a bit of an arsehole sometimes, but you know, he's got fire in his belly. I like it, man. He's a Man United player.
All right, let's go. So 1-0. Anything else in the first half that we can talk about? Because one thing I was going to say, Bruno, Gary Neville gave him man of the match. And in the first half, there was a couple of times when we're playing really well. We're playing the ball in their opposition half, but he played the ball across the middle of the park and they broke on us. And that was the only opportunities I think they were set up for, to break on us, waiting for us to play a stupid pass or something like that. But apart from that, in the first half, I thought we were pretty cool. Don't you think, Andy? No worries in the first half, no real threat from Forest?
No, not really. Their fronts, because that's a run.
I really wish we could hear what Andy's got to say. Unfortunately, he's got a bad line at the moment. Half time, McKinsey finished off the first half. Anything else? Because on my notes, I've got Bruno with that pass, and then in the 45th minute, Ericsson had a left foot cross to Bruno, which is beautiful, and Bruno had a header, but he put it wide. That was a wrap for me for the first half. I was delighted to go in 1-0.
Yeah, I think you said about when Bruno lost the ball and then they had a chance, but I think they also had a chance. I think Wan-Bissaka cleared it off the line. I don't know if you remember that in the first half. He blocked it.
Yeah.
Because they blocked one of our shots off the line. Who was it that shot? Was it? No, Sancho. Sancho shot. They blocked it off the line. And then about 5-10 minutes later, Wan-Bissaka did the same thing. He blocked it off the line. So there was like some nervy moments, bit of shaky moments, because they were quite physical in the box. But once we overcame that, we were quite comfortable towards the second half as well.
And bath time, HD Game is saying here, the only reason we could is because of the midfield. Is that true? And what would you be saying at half time as a manager to these guys when we go in and with that sort of performance, 1-0 up? Especially when we've seen Arsenal the last couple of weeks be 2-0 up and get levelled, and we against Seville get levelled 2-0. So what would you be saying? Would that be coming to your mindset? Or saying, bringing that up?
Absolutely. Like, we were 1-0 at half time. That's, a dangerous scoreline to have, a good one to have, but a dangerous one to have. I felt that their threat was mainly coming from set pieces and boxing in De Gea. And we didn't deal with their early set pieces well. We gave them away too cheap. But HD Gamer has said that the reason we cut was because of our midfield. I think that's partially true. I think a lot of it was down to the work rate of the entire team, which was like our forwards, like Sancho. I'm sure we'll get to him later. He's sort of like his work rate's not the same level of as Antony, either of them, Martial as well. But Martial and Antony were forcing long balls from their defence, and that was playing right into Maguire's hands, who was like, level with Casemiro on the halfway line, just heading everything back. And it felt that Forest didn't really have an outlet. They were failing to deal with Dalot on the left-hand side. He might not have been producing quality, but he was seeing a lot of the ball and getting forward. And I felt we had them pinned in. So at halftime, I would say something pretty boring, like let's just keep doing it, keep the work rate up, keep sticking to the game plan. They don't have a lot of quality. And if, in the times we do get into 1v1s, I felt pretty much every Man United player was winning their 1v1s, with the slight exception of Casemiro, he's just a bit rusty and was falling about a bit too much.
Getting there, you're laughing a little. Go on. You're a manager. What would you be saying as well? Would you be saying the same thing?
Well, if I'm Ten Hag, I'm also saying the same sort of thing about just keep doing what you're doing, and main thing, just focus. I'm saying to myself, but not to the players, I've got to make sure I time these substitutions right, not do like 3 substitutions at a time like I did midweek, because that disrupted the whole flow of the team. So I think he got it right today, just doing the substitutions right, just sparingly, So yeah, just main thing, just to keep focused.
Zoe Media House saying Man United midfielding, Casemiro and Ericsson give our fullbacks space and time. Brilliant play it was, almost world-class midfield play. That's the talk we're hearing. And HD Game is saying we could have actually won 5-0. The keeper, man, was fantastic today. Yeah. Anyway, second half, we've come out after the team talk that we discussed right now. And we continued to play really well. I mean, a lot of talk this season about us having sort of 2 halves, going at half time and improve, or get like a rocket up your backside or something. But there's no need for that today. We just, as you said, just consistently win your battles, and the quality will shine through. And it's great. I mean, with all the injuries we've had, it's great having two quality players like Casemiro and Eriksen who can dictate the play in midfield and keep it ticking over like that. Second half, it was the same thing again. I mean, I've got here De Gea claiming balls, kicking balls like 60, 70 yards as an outlet. You know, I've got Casemiro cross for the right for Martial's header. Navas saves again. Navas saves again. Navas saves again. There were so many saves by Navas. And obviously we scored the goal and the celebration. I love the handshake. A bit like Predator, isn't it? With Carl Weathers and Arnold. I don't know what they do. Dalot and Antony with that handshake. Yeah, anything to add with the second half performance? Let's talk about the goal as well, because I thought the goal was fantastic. Bath time.
Yeah, delighted for Antony. I think, is that his first assist in the Premier League?
I don't know.
I think it might be.
Wow.
Yeah,
No.
I think he might have had one in Europe or whatever. But I thought the goal was brilliant. It's exactly what I've been wanting to see for quite some time. I think Weghorst's part in it was highly underrated by, you know, sort of making a run across the box, taking men with him, and then Dalot coming in between the lines, like getting on the blind side of his man, coming in. I celebrated before he shot, but I had to stop because he did sort of dance a bit on the ball before he got it in. But
he hasn't scored ever. I don't think. So
well, I was wondering how he's going to hit the bar from there. That's what he normally seems to do, in, like with the ball at his feet. But I thought it's an absolutely fantastic goal. We went wide. Like we came inside, but Weghorst maintained the width by making that run across to keep them stretched, and then Dalot, a fullback, arriving in between that big gap between the right back and the centre back, or whoever. Yeah, right back and centre back. A really, really well worked goal. And when you sort of saw how we played in that second half, how high we were, how good Maguire and Dalot were at dealing with any balls that were coming out to them. Casemiro was constantly supporting people with like passing lanes and allowing Eriksen and Bruno on the ball. It looked like, you know, they weren't too far off. Actually, this is massive over-exaggeration, but they weren't too far off like Modric, Kroos and Casemiro at Real Madrid in that second half. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. But to put it into context, Forest are like, we play better sides in the Europa League. They were really poor all over the pitch, to be honest, apart from in between nets, where Keylor Navas, who is not the nicest character in the world, if anyone's got a moment, Google what he's been up to with the Costa Rican team. Fascinating story.
Okay, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, it's goody. But Hinde, what did you think? Am I talking a load of bollocks?
No, I agree with all of the stuff that you're saying. I don't know about comparing Kroos, Casemiro, and...
Yeah, I don't know about that anymore, to be honest.
Slight exaggeration, but yeah. I mean, one comic guy is Casemiro. I think Casemiro today was like, yeah, he is very slow, but it's almost like you don't notice him because he's so experienced. He just knows to hold his position. It's like sometimes it's like you think the game's passing him by, but he's just standing still, holding his position. And I think McTominay needs to really learn from that. You know, McTominay does a lot of running around and all that, but he needs to just learn from him, watch him, just see how he holds his position, the way he distributes the ball, you know, and the little positions that he takes up. Excellent, just real good experience. Same with Eriksen. They're both 31, you know, but the experience these players have got, and they just open teams up. It was really great to watch. It was really
so
fantastic.
How did they open the Forest up for you?
I think it's just like the possession, the ball retention, because I think this is what we really struggled with the last few years, especially under Ollie when we had McTominay and Fred. We didn't keep the ball. And Eriksen's so good on the ball because he's got that sort of range of passing where he could go short, long, it doesn't matter. And Casemiro, because he offers that protection, I think the fullbacks are confident enough to bomb forwards. You know, they're confident to say, yeah, I know this guy's going to cover me and all that. So it's like they help each other. Just they help their other teammates just by the way that they play. And Just things
Do you
like
think
that.
Casemiro was careful on the ball today?
I think like he has his like occasional clumsy challenge and things, unnecessary things that he needs to do, and just like Maguire does. This is the thing. It's like people pick on Maguire a lot, but Casemiro gets a lot of some unnecessary challenges as well. But,
No, but I mean, with the ball, I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
Casemiro's biggest weakness is he goes to ground more than. But I can't say that. But with the ball, like in possession, did you think Casemiro was careful with the ball today and retained it?
I didn't really see him do too many sloppy passes. Not really, to be honest. He does,
Okay.
you know, yeah. But it's just all.
What are you hinting at? Hold on, Bathtub. What are you hinting at here? What do you think?
No, I thought that like look, Casemiro had a good game, right? I know he didn't seem to do a lot, but as I say, he supported everyone. He was always making triangles, which is what you need from your midfielder. Sometimes, with the case of Fred and McTominay, they're asked to make the triangles further up the pitch, but Casemiro can't do that. So he makes them more with fullbacks, centre backs, and his other pivot, and he does it well. But today, I thought that he was giving the ball away far too much. He was the only player on the team that was consistently like smacking it about. They were, and then it wasn't like sort of poor passes. They were more like Bruno passes. He was like sort of smacking it into corners and things like that. And it's something that I would like to see Casemiro rein in, because we need more sideways passes. Like we need to control games more.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that. You know, I'm gonna have to
Do you
disagree.
think we should control games
No,
less?
because to me, what
I
I'm
like
saying,
it. Live dangerously.
Ericsson and Bruno, they're the risk taker passes, aren't they? They will try.
Not Ericsson, not for me.
Well, I'm saying Ericsson will try a long range pass or whatever. It doesn't always come off. I'm just saying. But Bruno is the one, really, the Hollywood guy. He'll take a risk. If you want your DM to just pass it sideways, I don't always think that's good, because I think Casemiro, because he takes those risky passes as well, I think it hurts the other team a lot. When you just
hold on. Let's bring in Andy on this one. Andy, I know you're just jumping on now. It seems like your Wi-Fi is good. Casemiro, Bath Time saying that he's a bit sloppy today, giving the ball away, everything else. Kahinde saying done a good job, positioned himself well. Bath Time saying he's a bit of a pudding, can't get around the pitch so much, but he positions himself brilliantly to pinch the ball when it's vital. What's your feelings on Casemiro? Because Zoe's saying here that he's signed a 5-year contract, but we should offer him longer, which basically says he's so important to the way we play right now.
I think all great midfielders, even after a suspension or a knock here and there, I think they're entitled. I think he's entitled to have 1 or 2 low-key games. Not very good today, but he played well. He's like you say, Bruno is like a Steven Seagal, isn't he? Casemiro is just like right on point. He's like an opera singer. He'll conduct that midfield and he'll find the right pass, and he just plays. I would say he's just had a 5-game ban. He played. I think he might have played for Brazil, but he's had a rest. He's just finding his mojo back. Same with Ericsson. So it's just about, look, I'm not asked about performances. It's about getting the job done at this back end of the season now. Between now and the end of the season, if we have to go back to the 2-0 club, grinding out 2-0s between now and the end of the season, I'm all for it and I'm very happy. So we've got 2 big games coming up this week, which basically I wasn't expecting to be where we are. I thought win a cup, top 4 race, but to finish the season flat next week would be an extreme disappointment. So I say with Casemiro, Ericsson coming back as well, Bruno suspended next week as well, it's going to be critical with this midfield. And I say they'll just find in the feet. And I think Casemiro, he knows, he's played at Sevilla, he knows the European game. I think he'll thrive in it on a Thursday. He will. And it's same with Ericsson as well. It's just finding your feet back as well. That's all it is. I know Sabitza's injured. McTominay came on, didn't it, to replace him? Was it?
No.
It was Casemiro.
It was
Ericsson, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Matt. Like I say, my Wi-Fi's been up and down all afternoon. But it's about just getting the performances. Like I say, the 2-0 club, I'm all for it. And if it gets us additional glory this season, who are we all to argue? You know what I mean?
Plenty talking points here. Let me just go through a couple of comments because they're coming in thick and fast. Zoe's saying here, players like Casemiro, the club needs to show they are with him all the way. Casemiro don't care about what the club has already won. He's our Paul Scholes replacement. You have missed the first half. Sorry, Rebel. We've been talking about the second half and the whole performance. Emma again saying Ericsson being able to take up the fullback positions. We've missed that load. So obviously he's filling in when people go forwards. Can we play Forest every week? Says Eddie Football Waffle. He's agreed. Yeah, I think Bath was saying they're not a very good team. We've beaten them 4 times this season. And Emma's saying here, I know what Bath time means. However, I like him doing a bit extra and doing a bit more. Sometimes it leads to something good. Just to go back to the goal, it was nice, lovely interchange, interplay between Dalot and Bruno in the centre park, in the middle of the park. And it was Dalot who made that run from the centre of the park and blindsided, like Bath time was saying there. But playing this inverted role is a new modern thing that I still got to get to grips with. And I just love to see it. These midfield, wide fullbacks who are coming in and being part of the game. And we've seen Wan-Bissaka, goddammit, being able to play inverted now and getting up and down the pitch and doing okay and improving in that respect. Is this, like, when we talk about positions, guys, going to go on to player ratings in a minute. I'm going to start with you, Andy. When we talk about positions, back in the day, they used to have halfback positions and inverted, wide playmakers, or like Bobby Charlton used to be like a, what do they call it, inverted winger sort of thing. These positions have come and gone back into the game. Is the fullback position lost to us now when these players sort of playing inverted roles?
I think it's the way the game is now. Game's changing it with tactics and the way athletes and all that. It could go back. I mean, it just goes in cycles, keeping your fullbacks a tight line, keeping it nice and neat. Then, but now fullbacks are going forward. They've got a bit of speed about them. Like in the old days, I didn't see Gary Pallister running down the wing or Stevie Bruce back in the day. You know what I mean? So, like, if you've got, like I say, it's just trying to combine it all. It's in cycles now, so it's fashionable. Like I say, if you've got a fast fullback who can go forward and deliver a cross, or get on the end of something, or get up there and get in the mix, like, why not? It's just football. It's the way it is now. It's like, look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. Absolute garbage defending. But I tell you what, he can put a good crossover ball in. So you lose half your game, and half your game improves. It's just trying to find the balance. That's what it is. It's finding the balance.
Time. If David Beckham was playing today, what position would he play? Because there's no more sort of flat 4 midfield, is there? What position would David Beckham be playing these days if he was around today? Because I think
he'll fit well in a 3-5-2, maybe as a wing back or as one of the midfield 3 or midfield 2 in a 3-5-2, maybe. That's what I think he'll do good at, because he had the engine. He could go up and down. But it's interesting you bring that up, because I'm thinking back how football just goes in cycles. I mean, United were very successful in the early 90s with Giggs and Kanchelskis on the wings, and then later with Giggs and Beckham. But I was just thinking, imagine Giggs as an inverted winger these days, how many goals he would score cutting in.
Would he score loads of goals?
He would get a lot more success, because he just ran up and down that left wing all the time. It's not easy. But if he had
Patrice Evra, he got forward a bit and he scored a couple of very valuable goals over the years.
Yeah.
Winners, equalizes. So yeah, it goes.
And Evra, towards the end, he had Ronaldo on his side, Ronaldo cutting in and he overlapping. So it's very effective. They didn't used to do it back in the day because a lot of the wingers couldn't cross with their weaker foot, but you know, everyone's kind of improving now and they could go both sides. I still want Antony to do it a bit more, cross more on his right foot, but
yeah, you wait for Harry Maguire to be centre forward now. That's what you wait for.
Bath time. Before we go on to player range, can you just add a little insight into this about positions and like, because they were talking earlier about Haaland, there's not many great strikers anymore. When it used to be 4-4-2, 2 good strikers, there used to be loads for England. Bobby Fowler, Sheringham, Ferdinand, loads. No one could get a game. But now the strikers seem to be coming out of the game. Is it the same with fullbacks and other positions? And where would Beckham play if he was playing today in the 4-2-3-1 sort of system, and like we see today. What's the change with football these days?
Well, I mean, like inverted fullbacks are a concept from a Wolves team in the 50s. They're nothing they're nothing new. And the reason why you have inverted fullbacks is to deny space in the centre of the pitch so that you can maintain width on both sides. Football, certainly tactics, is all related to how you manipulate, attack, and defend spaces. So with a player like David Beckham in the modern game, like Beckham wasn't really a dribbler. He was a runner, but he wasn't a powerful runner like going past people. What Beck's had was just unreal quality with delivering into space. So when like Andy, I think like really intelligently brought up Trent Alexander-Arnold. Like Alexander-Arnold is a sort of like this isn't a great example because Liverpool are doing very badly, but they're one of the only sort of top teams that don't play with inverted fullbacks. That in fact their fullbacks are the ones that exploit the width and exploit the space, because Trent he's the furthest from the press and he sees the most of the pitch at right back. So he's able to use his range of passing to put it pretty much wherever he wants. I think that Beck's, with his energy, his stamina, and his work rate, would be fantastic at right back. But I also think in a sort of a central role, he'd be fantastic at switching. I mean, he was just such a wonderful football player that I think you could have played him in many things. Giggsy, I'm not so sure about Giggsy as an inverted winger. His finishing was shocking.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well.
I think if he's cutting in and on his strong left foot, I think he would have been more effective. He wasn't you're right, but I think when it's so hard, it's actually harder just going straight down that line, because you're always on everyone knows it's on your strong side. If you could like jinx it where you could go both sides, then you get more success. So I think,
all right, guys, this is a talk for another show. Let's do the player ratings. We're going. Just lastly, Emma's saying here, Wan-Bissaka's having a time of his life doing all the attacking and inverting. This is what I was impressed by him today, playing sort of inverted inside and getting up there and being confident on the ball in the final third. Let's go to player ratings, guys. You ready for this? Goalkeeper and defense. I'm just going to say it's a clean sheet. That's all I'm saying. But going into the game, obviously we've got our two centre backs out. We've got a left back who's a right back, and we kept a clean sheet. Harry Maguire was good today. I'm not saying he's the best player in the park, but I'm not on his case. We need to get behind players. I hear a lot of people dissing him. Lindelof was brilliant today as well. They really done well, and there's something to prove, and they proved it. Clean sheet. Don't care if it's Forest or whatever. Forest beat Liverpool not so long ago at their home ground as well. So I thought the defence played really well. Every man gets a 7 for me. The keeper made a couple of decent saves, I think, but just held it up and even claimed some crosses and actually bypassed their press by kicking it long a couple of times as well. So I was really impressed. Clean sheet, can't go wrong with that. And Harry Maguire, yes, I'm going to say this, get behind him, guys, because like I say, this round, final furlong, we're going to come up against some really tough games, everything else. We need him to perform, so don't get on his back. 7's for all for me. Kinde, quickly on the defence. Let's make this punchy. Let's get through this show.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to give everyone a 7 because they got a clean sheet. And I'm going to big up Maguire again because he's probably watching the show. I don't want this confidence to go down low.
Oh, yeah. He didn't hear me the other night on Stretford Paddock.
What did you say? What did you say?
I called him, after that, I say, you play good, you play bad, like that own goal, I called him Captain Gobshite. Seriously, it's like, because what he said in a few weeks before, I don't need to prove myself. It still irritates me that. And from the interviews from last season, if he just concentrates on not opening that off the pitch, just do it on the pitch. Because the last week against Everton, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like you said, I would say his partner's just had another child. And that gives any person confidence in life to do stuff. And fair play to you, just keep doing it. Just don't be distracted by off the field PR crap. Just keep on with it and we'll back you.
So what are you there on the defence? Give us De Gea, the back four, how they performed today, and how do you expect them to perform over the next coming weeks? What would you advise them?
I would say I'll give them all a 7 today. You really give them all a 7. They were brilliant. It's absolute. I say the midfield as well, neutral, pretty good. I give that a 6. They were well on par. I'm going forward. for me, their goalkeeper was man of the match.
Yeah.
Their goalkeeper was man of the match. So I would all the team 7. Right, good luck. 7 is the magic number, so that's it.
Scarface here saying Casemiro played under par today. Start with the defence bath time. You might as well do the whole team, and we'll come back to you, Kinde.
Yeah,
bath time. Let's go.
Yeah, I thought I agree with everyone else. I'd give the defence all a 7, and a special shout out to De Gea. He was going upstairs like he thought he was David Raya, going downstairs like he thought he was Edison. But he has really improved, like the range of passing. He was playing into the midfield today, so I was very happy to see that. In midfield, I'd give Bruno and Eriksen 8. Casemiro, I'll give him a 7. Like
you were disrespecting him, but you give him a 7.
No, he loses the ball too much. We don't need like heroics against Nottingham Forest when we're 1-0 up. We need to look after the ball and not like just playing hero ball. We don't need that.
I have to rewatch that. I saw Bruno give out dangerous, but I didn't really see Casemiro give silly balls away. But
I promise you, he did.
I know he's not the greatest like in possession, like, but he there's something. Sometimes it does. I don't know if you remember that one against Everton where he did Ronaldo through ball. He can pull it off. Yeah,
I remember he also gave the ball away in that match for a goal in the first 10 minutes.
He makes up for it with his work.
Yeah, but that's the point: is he didn't need to make up for it in this match. You just need. And the thing is that he did, however, give Eriksen and Bruno the platform alongside Wan-Bissaka to go and do their stuff, and they took great advantage of it. In fact, I'm giving everyone 7, except I'm afraid for Monday. I think I have to give Sancho a 6. I felt he lacked fire and drive again, and I'm really concerned about him because I want him to be a great success. But when you see Maguire getting booed by an entire ground and growing into a game, and then Sancho, like, there's no venom to him. There's no desire. Like, Antony's a proper gobshite, and I don't think I like him very much. Like, he looks like one of them aliens that pop out of Sigourney Weaver and he's just vicious and cruel. And I'm glad he's on that. Yeah, no, not them. The other ones. The ones
the other one, the one with the teeth coming.
It's got Illuminado written on it. But Sancho, he just doesn't. He doesn't have the fire, and he showed it again today. Like, there's so many wide players out that it's time to put a marker down. You're a £70 million player.
I know. I agree.
What do you think, Andy?
I really want to back his corner, but in the second half on Thursday, him and Antony was, when you got a team like that, when you got them by the short and curlies, you're going to hang them up to dry. You don't do it, and it's so disappointing, man. I mean, what happens if do you sell him? He's gone away. He's had his time off. He's worked on himself. And in the last 2 games, he's had the ball going attack and he loses it and his head's down. And we did that. I did this on the Man United agenda. We were playing in Cyprus. He did that and they went and scored at the other end. And it's reminiscent of that. It's happening too much. He's getting into good positions. He doesn't make a pass. He doesn't shoot when he could have shot and went on Thursday, even today. And it's just for the love of it, I don't know what's wrong. I mean, is it a comfort zone he's back in? His little comfort zone, that's it. I mean, it was brilliant first half on Thursday, and he goes into a shell. I mean, he could have the potential to be like Saka at Arsenal. He really can, if he just believes and works on himself. Because if he goes and gets moved on and he turns it on somewhere else, I mean, we're going to look fools again in the transfer market. So he's got to believe in himself. He's got to do it.
So you're both saying it's about belief. So it's not a thing about he can't achieve. There is no ceiling for him. Basically, he has to. It's a mental thing. He has to try more. He has to be a bit more aggressive. So he's capable of
be nasty. Look at Jack Grealish. technically going forward, and people are scared they foul. If they gets fouled, He has to be like that. Go forward, create havoc. If you're setting up goals, you're doing something right. People are feeding off you, and you get into the positions as well. It's about belief, and he's not doing it. He's in the comfort zone. It's just like, yeah, I've got my PlayStation, I've got my Xbox, got everything around me. I'm a gamer now. I'm safe. I'm safe. You got a little man.
You heard what they're saying about Sancho. What's your thoughts? Because they're saying lack of belief. He just needs to be bit more aggressive. What's your thoughts on him?
Some things happen. I mean, he had that time off during the season, and they didn't go into much detail about what it was, but it was mainly just personal things, and it was confidence and self-belief. And he's gone away. I think he's training in Holland, and he's coming back. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think there's not much difference in this game, how he's playing at Dortmund to now. It's like people said that about Pogba, Juventus, and here, but there's not much difference in this game. It's like
17 goals. He was
because Dortmund he had Haaland in his team, and Haaland was making it easier for him to just get the assists with his runs. And obviously,
where's them runs? What he does?
No, hear me out, because I think that maybe because he's in the Premiership now, he needs to take more risks because the defenders are a bit more aggressive and they're quick and all that. But when I'm watching him, I'm thinking, he's not doing anything wrong. It's like you would have to ask a Premiership fullback, what's it like playing against Sancho? Is it tiring? Does it tire you out? Because he keeps the ball. This is the most important thing. He's not wasting the ball. He's using it wisely. If he knows he can't beat it, he turns, he comes back, he keeps it, moves, goes into a different position. I think for me, he would be a nightmare to play against because he's keeping it. He's tiring teams out. That's the most important thing.
Okay, just let's touch on this because there are people in the comments talking here, and they're saying, for one, they're saying Bruno's fantastic. Bruno. Robbie Norman's saying here, don't think Casemiro's bad today. It's just that Eriksen and Bruno ran the show. Obviously, Bruno, we all agree, he's dropped a bit deeper, playing a lot better recently. Scarface is saying, Bruno and Eriksen were class today. Zoe saying Eriksen and Casemiro, best players on the pitch. They get 8.5 for her. POTUS is saying, if we had Rashford, it would have been 5-0. I've heard that said earlier by someone in the comments. Kay Slater, how you doing? Said, don't come over there. Don't let me come over there solo, because Solo's talking about 9 for Fred. All right, Bill Badger saying, creative players. Bill Badger said, creative players give the ball away. Non-creative players keep the ball. And the shite ones do neither. Today, we had no shite players. If that makes sense, guys. Scarface is saying, here we're on the Sancho business. Sancho is third left winger behind Rashford and Garnacho. So as Bath Time is saying, he needs to step up while he's got this opportunity. POTUS is saying Sancho doesn't pack a punch like Antony. Sancho needs to be angry when he plays. We've got Zoe saying, I'm sorry, I don't like Bath Time's negativity. I do not agree. Sancho is growing. I can see that. I'm with Sancho. I'm still Sancho, Team Sancho. Sancho is growing for sure, but he doesn't play with enough of venom. Dalot was outstanding today, or amazing today. Great goal. That's from POTUS. And Zoe again is saying, I can see improvement in Sancho. And it's why is Ten Hag starting him? Not because Garnacho's out. I don't agree with the criticism. It's interesting, that, isn't it? We're talking about our players. Finally, Emma's saying, our wingers need runners in the box, like Dalot today and McTominay the other day. In my opinion, one winger should take the risk, the other one should keep it safe to keep the team balanced. I think that's what Sancho does. All right, guys. Player ratings, I think let's just go for man of the match. And going forward, let's talk about any other business going forward because we've got a massive week next week. For me, man of the match was Bruno Fernandes. For me, I just thought he ran the show. I have to give this guy credit. At Bath Time early in the show, he was saying about his versatility. He can play in different roles. We've seen him playing on the right. We've seen him playing in the 10, playing deeper now in the midfield pivot and getting his head up and just working things. I think he's a fantastic signing. I think he's a fantastic player. We need someone like him. Having players like him, Eriksen, on the pitch at the same time, what really changed the game for me today. We were dominating the play, really dictating the play as well. They couldn't get the ball off us. And they work. Not only that, you're talented and you work your socks off. Top player, man of the match for me. Kahinde, and we go around to you, Bath Time and Andy.
I was going to give everyone about 7, maybe Bruno at 8. He was my man of the match. It would have been close between him and Eriksen, but Eriksen came off. Bruno played the whole game. Same reasons, just keeping the ball, just again, ball retention, just excellent. The way he works as well, his work rate was great. He had a couple of chances. I think he should have scored maybe, but he's just a threat. One of the best signings we've made, and it's one of those ones from Sporting. He could have been overlooked, but I'm really pleased about it. His performance.
So Bruno, man of the match. Bath time. Who is your favourite player today?
I think it's very difficult to separate Eriksen and Bruno for me today. I'd like to give a shout out to Antony, who got a goal and an assist, but I think Eriksen for me kept the ball a little bit better than Bruno. Moved it around. He moved it around the pitch. Felt he gave Bruno a platform to play on. But if we can see this every week, I'll be happy. Give them all man a match. But yeah, I'll go Eriksen.
Where you go? We've got two Brunos, one Eriksen. Where you got, Andy?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Bruno, Eriksen, Casemiro. I want to give them 6 and 7 respectively between them. They just got the job done. I mean, Bruno, he's got to do better with his head. Eriksen made beautiful ball just before half-time. That should have been 2-0. But Bruno was absolutely flying. I mean, that corner and that save when he shot.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
That was like, oh, I mean, Navas is man of the match for them, but that was a hell of a shot. And Bruno's like a man possessed the last half an hour. It was absolutely brilliant.
Guys, we've got 4 minutes. Let's just round this up. What's next? I mean, we've got Sevilla, we've got the FA Cup final. So big. Let's build up for that week, because on the Man United agenda, we will be covering it. Have we got enough to see this through? Because this is 2 crucial games, and Brighton are really good at the moment. And let's start with you. Let's have a conversation here, guys. Have we got enough to see this through? And in defence, especially, is that going to be where we're going to be let down?
Yeah, I think we've got enough in attack and have a solid defence to see out Sevilla and try and sneak it 1-0, 2-0. Because we've had a good record in Spain this season. Like, we went to Betis, won 1-0. We've done Barcelona over 2 legs. So I hold no fears. They've got to think about this competition, and you could see why on Thursday. I think we'll go through to Thursday, and we'll just getting the job done. And Sunday, I think it could be a high scoring game as long as we're in front. And if it's like the women yesterday, 3-2, I'll take it, because it could be a game of goals. And Brighton all focused on trying to get Europe as well. And I'm getting them 83 vibes when I was 8 years old.
Yeah,
I want to win this FA Cup again. I'm 48 now, so I want to win this FA Cup. I want to win it, and I think we'll do it as well. But I think that could be a high-scoring game.
That was a replay, wasn't it?
Yeah. Replay. Yeah. We won 4-0 after the 2-0.
Ray Wilkins' goal. Wow, 2-footed done. Bath time. You know about Sevilla. Just give people an idea what it's like going to Sevilla and the stadium out there. It's hot.
Yeah, it's proper hot. Sevilla is my favourite city in Europe, and I used to live quite near there. It's a beautiful place, but it is proper hot. It's like the hottest place in Europe. It might as well be Morocco or like North Africa. It's not a fun place to go well, it is if you're going on holiday. It's lovely, but like it's great. Honestly,
what are our chances then? From what you've seen with Sevilla at Old Trafford, what are our chances against this team?
I think our chances are pretty high. It's incredible to lose a 2-goal lead to two own goals, get an injury. It was a lot of things went wrong that you don't normally see, but luckily it's over 2 legs. I think if we just go out, look after the ball, we'll be all right. Like they don't have huge threats everywhere. They've got a sort of a team of, it's like the Expendables or something. They got Jesus Navas. They got some random left back that was somewhere else, and like all these like Suso, these sort of like middling Premier League players that never really did anything have all come together in Andalusia. But I think we'll be all right. What we really need is sort of like Casemiro and Eriksen and people like that, calm the team down, just to keep the ball. Don't let them have it and just ping it about and do all their Spanish stuff. Just play our game. We should be all right. Brighton, I think that even though Brighton are extremely impressive, Brighton play really weird formation that no one else plays in the league. and what they like to do is they like to dominate possession. I think it plays into. I think we're still the best transition team in the Premier League. I think if we get our fast players on and we play a nice block, a bit like we did against Newcastle, against Southampton when we're down to 10 men, we're fantastic at it. I think we can pinch 2 or 3 against them, or at least I
Looking
hope
good.
so. So
Looking
yeah,
good.
so I'm quite positive about like the games coming up. Kihinde, you're not a positive man, so tell me, what should I be worrying about?
With Thursday, I mean, I don't know. Sevilla, they just got something in this competition. They've won it 6 times. They've beaten Liverpool in the final. They beat us in the semi-final a couple of years ago. There's just something about them. It's like you'd think on paper we should win, get over the line, but they've got some sort of experience, you know. And there's a funny thing that they said on Thursday that David De Gea has never won against Seville, even when he's with Atletico Madrid. So maybe we shouldn't play him in the game. Maybe. But I think really, like from what I saw on Thursday, we should be able to get over the line. Luckily, the away goal rule is not in that doesn't stand anymore. So that's thankfully, and we just have to go there and win. So that's the most important thing. Just go there and win. And I think they haven't got much threat up front. It's like we have to do a mistake for them to score, really, because I think they were playing Eric Lamela like up front on his own. So we should be able to see that game through. But as for Brighton, I'm a little bit concerned because at the moment, Lindelof's our only fit centre-back and available centre-back that I know that we've got for next Sunday.
Is that because Maguire's suspended, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luke
So
Shaw,
Lindelof's a bit, you know what he's like against these types of teams, like physical-wise. And so if it's just Lindelof, who's going to fill in?
McTominay.
Phil Jones.
Oh God.
Phil Jones is available. McTominay is not fit at the moment. Luke Shaw
Casemiro
be fit. Casemiro, we're going to miss him a lot in the midfield if he goes at centre back. So and then where would be McTominay be?
Sabitzer, maybe could he come in?
This is the thing. I don't know. I'm a bit concerned, and I just think the season that Brighton are having, the FA Cup, they're going to go all out. Like this, that will be like, you know, we've won our cup already, and I think if you were asking Ten Hag what would he rather win, Europa League or FA Cup, it would have to be Europa because it's more of a guarantee for the Champions League as well next season. But I'm just not sure because of the centre back situation about next Sunday. I'm not confident.
I'd be more worried about our full backs than our centre backs. Their danger appears to come from like, is it Gross or Schloop or someone, and Minamoto or Mini something.
Yeah.
And they've got McAllister and Tosido who just work so hard. So
you never know. They could have an off day. They could have an off day next Sunday. They really could.
Welbeck might do us damage. I think Evan Ferguson's injured or he might not be available. But I just think at the moment it's just Lindelof who's our only available centre back. So it's a big concern.
Yeah, I'm available. Got it to May.
I'm available left side.
I'm available to centre back. I won't do the night shift on the Saturday night. But
yeah.
I'll be down to London. I'll do centre back. Yeah.
Here's a battle for you, Wan-Bissaka against Minota, who's Brighton's best player at the moment. Yeah, he's been fantastic. Guys, we're pretty confident that we can have a good week. We had a week like this a few weeks ago, didn't we, when we had the Cup final and the Barcelona game as well, coming up at one stage. So, yeah, man, what a season, what a season. And, you know, to come to this stage of the season, we still got things to play for. A lot of teams like Liverpool, Chelsea, they're out there, unless they do something at Bernabeu. They've got enough to play for right now. So, come on, Man United, man. It's been, honestly, tonight, I know Forest weren't that good, but just for the results that went our way with Spurs and Newcastle, and to get the 3 points today, we're one step closer to our goal, which is probably top 4, which is be brilliant. Andy, it's such a shame I couldn't have you on early with great Wi-Fi, but big shout out to you, man. Hope everything's well with you. Just give us a shout. Where can people find you?
You find me on Stretford Paddock, and you can find me on social media. And I'll be back in the groove soon enough anyway. Just takes time. Yeah,
for sure. Bath time, how are you doing, bro? When are you coming back on soon? I want you soon, please.
I wasn't prepared for that. Yeah, well, we can do a show tomorrow night on a different channel if you want.
Yeah, I'll see you there, 10 p.m.
Also, can you get whichever one of these guys, one of your mods, has banned me from the bloody comments. I had to come in on an alt account. So
Are you stirring up trouble again?
no, I'm saying someone has banned me, and I want their head on a platter.
Is that
Okay.
Mr. B? Is that
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
B?
probably.
Do you think Mr. B's got the technical knowledge to ban someone?
He
Okay.
did struggle. He did struggle at the cup final with the old lappy and all that. I do remember that.
Guys, it's been brilliant having you on again. Big up to everyone in the comments. Obviously, Andy, Kahinde, my brother. Don't forget, guys, we're playing Man United Agenda, playing COP TV channel, Rainers Lane Football Club, 9th of May, Sunday the 9th of May. It's only 45 minutes, but we must beat them. So, Andy, if you can get down to London, get your boots on. Bath time, you know the offer's always there. Need someone in midfield to run the show. And obviously, Kahinde, you can take up the centre-back position and leave me as a number 10. Hopefully, we can get a win. Guys, anyone out there who can play football, get to Rainers Lane. I'll put it on Twitter. I'll put look out for my Twitter, OMONDI Juma. Or I'll put it on the Man United Agenda one as well. Come and join us, or come down and watch and support us, because we need to kick their butts, no doubt about it. That's
Raiders Lane. Raiders Lane.
Yeah, West London, Raiders Lane, near Wembley, quite near Wembley. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. So make sure, Andy, if you can come, be great to have you down. Anyone worldwide, internationally, come down and play for us. You get 45 minutes for the Man United Agenda. Anyway, we've got 45, over an hour done today. Really long show. Great game. But we're out, and we'll be back at 8:30 tomorrow. Enough respect to everyone on the panel and everyone in the comments as well. See you later, guys.